Welcome to Internet Capital Markets, the weekly show where we explore how financial systems are being rebuilt on the web. Each week, we sit down with the builders, investors, and institutional leaders who are shaping this transformation from tokenized assets, decentralized finance, dApps, and not to forget, wallets. Today's show is brought to you by TrustBytes, Smart Treasury for Internet Capital Markets. I'm Jeremy Pazetio, and together with my co-host and co-founder, Jonas Surman, we are builders ourselves.
Thanks, Jeremy, and welcome everybody. And I guess today we have a real banger. So we invited Quix, or also known as the most famous fox, from the Solflare marketing team to the show. Welcome, Quix. He's a host of weekly streams, like the Solflare Spaces. Of course, he attends all the Solflare sponsored events, helps with BD, partnerships, and growth. And he's quite active on especially X, and that's where we also got to know him. So welcome, Quix, to the show.
Jonas, Jeremy, appreciate you guys so much for having me on. Thank you also, the Internet Capital Markets community. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully we got a good episode for you today. It's supposed to be educational and entertaining, but I appreciate the invite.
No, more than welcome. So before we kick it off, I love your background. I already mentioned it when we met before, but I really love the background there. But maybe for anyone in our audience who's not familiar with you, who are you? And maybe you can also tell us a little bit more about the most famous fox.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And yeah, I designed it myself, the background, some inflatable merch that we got at a recent team outing that I brought back with me. But for those that don't know, my name is Quix. I work on the Solflare team in the marketing and BD department. But we always joke that I'm my own department fox, because I do a little bit of everything from community management. I run the weekly streams. We support any of the spaces or podcasts we get invited to. I go to all the events that we sponsor around the world. So I've created a unique position for myself. I started in the ecosystem about 5 years ago. Before this, I was working for Red Bull, and we had a partner, Tezos, at the time, which was another blockchain. And that's how originally I was onboarded into crypto. But after trying out a few different chains, getting rugged on Ethereum like everyone else, I made my way to Solana. And I've been hosting spaces and being part of the Solana community for the past a little over 4 years now. The PFP that I'm rocking is from the famous Fox collection. So now I joke that I'm the most famous fox because anytime I go at any podcasts, I do any award ceremonies or emceeing, or I go to any event and do speaking, they always ask me, well, can you send us your headshot? And I go, sure. And I send, in this exact episode for Internet Capital Markets, you guys asked for my headshot, I sent my fox. So I've created a brand, to be honest, and I own the IP rights to it, which is one of the things I love about the project, on top of their community and just their utilities that they deliver. But yeah, I've been in, I guess you could say I'm a Solana OG, and I travel around the world, honestly, this year following Solana and the Wi-Fi. We host and sponsor a lot of events from Apex to startup villages. I just came from Island Owl, but we'll get into all that more later.
Man, that's quite a journey. I mean, you can clearly see that you understand your work and that you have a little bit of, probably also gained a little bit of knowledge from your Red Bull experience. But maybe getting started about Solflare and talking a little bit more about Solflare and also the unique approach of Solflare, especially, or not especially, but also in the Solana ecosystem. What makes you passionate about Solflare?
So I truly believe in what I do first and foremost, because Solflare is a self-custody wallet built for the Solana blockchain. And I believe that self-custody is a basic human right, that everyone should have the right to own their own tokens, access all of these internet capital markets, from DeFi to stocks to meme coins to it should be accessible to everyone. And I truly believe in the technology of Solana. So everything just kind of aligned with Solflare. When I was hosting spaces and they created an ambassador program, I was reached out to. I was one of the first ambassadors chosen. And I just took it upon myself to just truly rep and live the Solflare brand. I'd work it into my resets during the spaces where I'd, ask people not only to like and repost the room, but to download Solflare, talk about new features and updates. And I was never asked to do this. And I got an opportunity later to join the team officially in a more official capacity on the support role. And because we offer 24/7 support inside your Solflare wallet. So I would be helping out users with issues and questions. And it was really insightful to learn all the pain points of our business and industry. And I took it upon myself to make it to Breakpoint in Singapore last year, which for those that don't know, Breakpoint is the largest Solana event of the year. And I met the whole team and I helped out with doing interviews and working the booth. And they were like, okay, yeah, we need to move you over to marketing. And then since then, I've been helping out with socials, making content. I ran the weekly Twitter Spaces, which have turned into streams now, which we're expanding on. And Solflare does such a great job of supporting the Solana ecosystem, from working with big projects like MonkeyDAO to all the super teams to Solana themselves to sponsor all the Apex events this year. We had a huge presence at Crossroads and Accelerate. We're going to be the anchor sponsor for Breakpoint. And these are huge opportunities. I always tell people real life events is where it becomes tangible. All these relationships you develop over years in this audio visual metaverse that we're living in becomes real when you actually meet someone face to face and get to shake their paw and look them in the eyes. And so it's really important that you get out to the events. Solflare recognized that. And so we've had a lot of relationships and campaigns developed from these IRL events. And I'm really proud to be repping the Solflare brand. It's something that, and a project that I not only believe in, but I align with the culture. You know, they're just here to support Solana. And what's unique about us is that we only build for Solana. It does bottleneck us in a sense, but it allows us to build vertically, because whenever we're making a security patch or making any updates, we don't have to do it across numerous chains. It allows us to build specifically for Solana to be faster, safer, and in most cases cheaper. We're loved by the gaming communities because of all of our auto-approve features and ability to import unlimited wallets. And we have a lot of exciting features that I'll talk about later that have released this year and are also upcoming for the end of this year. Because Solflare at this point is evolving from becoming a self-custody wallet. We're becoming a neobank powered by Solana. So it's really exciting.
That sounds indeed really exciting. And I love that you started actually with human rights. And yeah, sounds also like all roads lead IRL to Abu Dhabi this year. Now, Solflare actually claims that true defiance starts with DeFi. Can you elaborate on that? And also with regards to what kind of experience you want to provide to your users?
Yeah, so this is actually great because it's both in the metaphorical sense of you're being defiant, you are now becoming the bank, but it also starts literally with DeFi, DeFiance, defiance. So you have to have DeFi to spell it. But going back to the original point is that the whole reason that we're doing is what we're doing is because Fox the banks, you know, like there's no reason that I should put my money in the bank and I earn 1% maybe in a savings account while they're earning 20-30% in interest lending out my money to other businesses, you know. And it's just wrong. The banking system's broken. And you know, anytime you need to go into the bank to take out a large amount of money, it's a problem. If you need to move it, it's a problem. They can at any time close your account, freeze your account, add money, take money away, charge you for this. And it's wrong. And with crypto and self-custody wallets, it's yours. You know, it's a huge responsibility because you hold the seed phrase. But once you overcome that fear, you're able to reap then all the rewards. You're able to partake in DeFi, like staking your Solana, earning 6-7% APY. Same thing with your stable coins now. We've integrated Solflare Earn, where you can earn yield on your stablecoin USDC. In the boosted right now, mine's earning like also 7% APY. That's just on stablecoin, back $1 to $1. And so the opportunities are for everyone. So DeFi is truly like you're defying the traditional finance system that's continuously let us down, that's continuously had to been bailed out by insolvent banks doing exactly that, lending more money than they have. And in a lot of cases, they become Ponzi schemes. And, you know, people have lost everything in their lives that they've worked for because of like the negligence of these banking institutions. So no more. The time has come where self-custody is becoming more accepted, and there are a lot more ways to protect your assets and stay safe, not just by keeping a Ledger or Keystone hardware wallet, but even into the technology that we're using day to day has become safer, more audits. Solflare does an incredible job of protecting our users. We built our entire white label service in-house. Our security management system, the Solflare guards, is constantly scanning to protect users, even if they're connected to a website, to prevent against signing malicious transactions. So we do everything that we can to make this as user friendly. But at the end of the day, it is like a revolution, and when you start believing in DeFi and contributing to it, like that's defiancy, because this was only supposed to be for the banks and the lending institutions, but now it's you, and you're the one reaping all the rewards. So it's truly a liberating experience downloading and owning your own, or downloading a self-custody wallet and owning your own tokens.
Yeah, that's super exciting. And if we compare that, maybe Solflare offers way more on-chain options compared to just other wallets. So the wallet itself, the swaps, trading, earn product. You mentioned staking, stocks, collectibles. Is it fair to say that you want to offer a holistic on-chain wealth management to your users?
That's exactly it. And that's the perfect way to describe it, is that it's wealth management. We're building towards the neo bank of the future that's built on Solana. And all of these, like you had just mentioned, from the staking to owning collectibles to now access to the stock market, this is now accessible to everyone worldwide, as long as you have a smartphone at the least and a Wi-Fi connection, and you have your Solflare wallet. Like, you now have access to these internet capital markets. You're not restricted to time. You're not restricted to region. It's just, again, such a liberating experience to help with more people around the world, especially where they experience hyperinflated economies, now have access to stablecoin like USDC, like dollar, as well as Solana and all of the DeFi protocols that can create revenue streams, where in some of these countries, the average monthly salary is $50 to $100. Like, they're able to change their lives for themselves and their family through some of these protocols. That's all built right into your Solflare wallet. And so we really, really understand our mission and the responsibility that we have. And so when we say we're on the road to onboard 1 billion users, and we have empathy for the 1 billionth user, like, we mean it. And it's gone into a lot of our culture and how we rebranded this year as well, to place the idea that we have in our rebrand, it's in every wallet a kingdom, on every head a crown. And that means a lot to us, because in your wallet is like your kingdom, your entire portfolio that you've built up, from stocks to your DeFis to your collectibles, and there's no one else above you. There's no, like, they're in the king. There's no one else above, like, the king in the kingdom. You're the one signing the transactions. You're the one responsible. And so we're trying to really convey this message of self-custody and ownership, but the positives that come with it, the high yields, the safety, the advancements that's been made in the technology. And we try to make that as easy to use in the Solflare wallet to help our users build wealth and manage their assets. So that was a great question, and 100% what we're building.
Yeah, it really sounds like that you're evolving into like a super app on Solana, like with integrating, I mean, swaps is like quite basic, but like staking, collectibles, hardware wallet support, also analytics. Like, how do you prioritize between like a feature and deep competency? Like, how do you ensure that you don't become a jack of all trades and a master of none?
That's interesting. So we take the Bruce Lee approach, to be honest, when building on Solana, because Bruce Lee's always like, he doesn't fear the man that practices 10,000 kicks. He fears the man that practices one kick 10,000 times. And so if we can build the best wallet for Solana, then that's truly going to be that's like our success story. That's what we're envisioning. And we are trying to build a super app within Solana. We're essentially becoming a neobank. And we've integrated a lot of new features and some that are coming this quarter that help a lot more with management of your portfolio and your assets. And we are also providing the first ever self-custody crypto card that's linked directly to your wallet. And that is a huge step towards off-ramping and also making this all tangible, because it becomes very much that this is just like, it is like magic internet money in a sense. We're just clicking buttons, and then, it doesn't become real until you're able to pay for that flight, or, buy that dinner, or pay for whatever goods and service. And the card makes that a reality. And so, like, how do we prioritize between like the features and you really can't, you have to offer for both. And so we've expanded our team. We've grown to over 120 employees. And we're really aggressively trying to ship as fast as possible, especially after this year. We did a huge rebrand. We also built out the Seed Vault wallet for the Solana Seeker device, like the phone for Solana that was launched this year. We're powering the Seed Vault wallet. So it took a lot of time to hit deadlines, but we're doubling down now on a lot of updates that need to be made. We made huge updates to the Explore feature. There's a lot that's going into like your P&L tracking. And again, like with the cards coming soon, it's all going to work seamlessly. So we have a huge responsibility to double down on both of these, because last year, an interesting statistic I'll share with you is that over 60% of users last year never interacted with any dApps. They just received, swapped, sent tokens, maybe did some stakings, very rarely swapped, but over 60% of our users didn't interact with any dApps. And so that's a huge responsibility for us. And that's why we were so adamant on pushing the Explore feature and partnering with a lot of these projects, onboarding them and their communities to Solflare, and really providing more support for them. So yeah, it's we can't choose between them. It's you have to learn how to do both. And how do you become a jack of all trades and master of none? I would say that's where we choose to just build primarily on Solana. If we tried to do the same thing on Ethereum and Bitcoin and Sui and stuff, I don't think that we would have the same success and effectiveness as we do is just focusing on Solana.
We definitely want to learn more about the card, but let's dig into that later. That sounds like super exciting. But especially when we're talking about like the super app model, network effects are key, especially if we are talking about consumer, right? So how does Solflare think about user acquisition, retention, and ecosystem partnerships to build out those network effects in or on Solana?
That's been our bread and butter this year from a marketing campaign. The grassroots organic marketing approach has done wonders for us. It's been a lot of traveling for the Fox, no cap, but it's been worth it. We've partnered with Solana directly for all of their Apex events, the one-day events in areas around the world that do experience like hyperinflation with economies. We've built partnerships with like Monkey DAO and Bonk and Portals and Star Atlas and all these big projects throughout the Solana ecosystem. We've grown our community of Guardians now to over 800 active real users that genuinely want to be there. And we've helped to host and sponsor pretty much every single startup village for super teams. And that's such a key touch point because they do such great work in onboarding, in coaching developers, in launching the next projects that are competing in these like hackathons and launchathons. And to know that they're choosing Solflare because we're supporting the event, it means a lot. Because in a sense, we are punching way above our weight class. Our competitor definitely has a lot more money, a lot more users, and a lot more runway. But we have a different mission and core values. And ours has been this entire year doubling down on the Solana ecosystem. And it's worked out tremendously for us. We've grown not only our support on socials, but our actual users and revenue. And we've created some really amazing partnerships. Even this year, we've seen the growth of the treasuries. So you'll see these DATs that are being established. And one of the largest ones, DeFi Dev Corp, they got this year a $5 billion equity loan. And after meeting them in spaces and at the event at Super Tokyo in Japan, we were able to work out and be their official wallet partner. And that was huge. I got to go to NASDAQ and ring the closing bell. So it's amazing what's able to be accomplished with, the partnerships and just genuinely wanting to see a better Solana ecosystem. And I think a lot of projects are realizing that now, is that you're able to see which projects are the ones that are extractive and which ones are the ones that are giving back to the Solana ecosystem. And it matters. And people do care about that, and projects do care about that, as well as communities. And so it's been definitely a lot of hard work, but it's helped us grow and establish ourselves to become synonymous with Solana. Like when you think of Solana, you think of Solflare and like the wallet that you use to interact with all of your Solana dApps. So it's been an incredible year, to say the least.
What a journey. And earlier you mentioned actually that you're about to launch your Solflare debit card. Curious about the benefits for the users here, but even more curious what else is on your roadmap.
Yeah, so I can't release too much information because we do have to leave some surprises for the rest of this year. A lot of the features, just know that you've seen updated in the wallet extension, are coming to mobile extremely soon. But we have been held up because the big announcement that we had this year was that we are releasing the Solflare debit card. It's powered by MasterCard. We released it to a select market as a testing phase, and now we're releasing it to more markets in the next phase. But very soon it will be available for everyone worldwide. We're really trying to scale the growth and make sure that we hammer out the reward system and the referral system, and make sure that everything on the tech side works, because again, it is an on-chain wallet. So technically any transaction you make, there is an on-chain transaction ID that's tied to that, and Solflare takes care of the gas. So you're only spending the USDC that's in your wallet, and you're able to earn yield on that while you're waiting to spend it. So it's really amazing technology, and it helps again make things tangible. But you can join the wait list right now. The cards will be releasing worldwide very, very soon. Definitely either by or before Breakpoint coming up. And we're really excited because we're going to be doing some cool activations at Breakpoint with the card. We're going to be able to do some custom cards for communities, for people that want to order them, and you'll be able to immediately download it. To release any information on the rewards or referral system just yet, because we are still making some final adjustments with the wallet and making sure that it all works on mobile. But we will be releasing very soon, after our first initial testing phase, on how the reward system's working. But we do have 100,000 USDC referral pool right now for anyone that's signing up. You get a referral code, and the more that you sign up, the better chance that you have of securing a USDC airdrop. So we're always doing like cool incentives and competitions. So this is definitely one to help users get incentivized to download and share. But yeah, join the wait list. And Breakpoint, we have another exciting feature and announcement that I can't talk about yet, but it's going to make everything complete, and you'll understand the future of us being a neobank powered by Solana.
I can't wait for that, and I will make sure that I will sign up. So I'm really excited what you have like on your roadmap there. And what I always find super cool with regards to debit cards is like this nature of savings, right? So for example, you spend like X amount and then you automatically save or like get cashback in Solana or whatever. So like really looking forward what you have in mind there. But maybe switching gears a little bit and talking more about like the overall ecosystem, maybe not only Solana, but like in general, crypto. Like what makes you exciting about like the space, Solana, and yeah, personally, and also for like from the perspective of Solflare?
So it's so exciting, the crypto space, because especially Solana specifically, because their whole thing has been increasing bandwidth, reducing latency, and being an open permissionless blockchain that it allows for innovation and competition so anyone can come in and build. I think that the numbers themselves back that if you want to build a dApp and you want users, like crypto's the way to go. And Solana's been leading the way in dApp revenue. And with the new Solana mobile and their dApp store, that's been a huge hindrance for developers, is the 30% rate that Apple takes, to have an app and monetize it. And so there's so much opportunity that people are starting to realize in crypto, and every blockchain has a use case. I don't think that there's just going to be one standalone chain that's going to dominate them all. But I think that Solana does pretty much everything just really great, and that it has the biggest potential to be the retail and everyday chain for basically anything. And I think that Solflare has positioned themselves in a very unique way because we've only built and doubled down on the Solana ecosystem. Like I said again, it is very much like an eggs all in one basket type play. But if it pays off, and we become the premium wallet on Solana, and Solana is the biggest blockchain in the world, and everyone's using Solflare, that's truly how we achieved that billion user dream and goal, to be honest. And so I just think that just in general, the idea of ownership and the ability to create revenue streams for yourself and follow your passion, because there's so much money in crypto, not only in these institutions and like these platforms, but in the marketing, for example. So if you're an artist, a content creator, a photographer or video editor, a clipper, there's so many opportunities in Web3 to work for established, credible projects with runway, with revenue generating tools, and they're going to pay you to basically do what you love to do. And I always preach that to everyone, is that there's so many opportunities in crypto. It's not just a casino. It's not just trying to find 1000x. It's building the financial tools that are going to allow you to generate revenue and achieve financial freedom through wealth, like growing wealth. But also you're able to follow your dreams and show up and do what you want to do every day and get paid for it. Like I literally am living my dream. I onboard people around the world to the self-custody wallet on Solana. I get to work with all these amazing Solana projects. I get to go on to amazing podcasts like Internet Capital Markets, and I get to talk about, what we're building. And to me, it's a dream, and I think this dream is possible for so many people if they're willing to put in the time to educate themselves, spend some time in the space, and provide some value without expecting anything in return. You get noticed, and projects will take care of you, man. Like anything that I've ever needed, like Solflare has always taken care of, whether from any traveling or any type of issue that we've had this year. They've always been so responsive to help out and be accessible, not only for me and like the rest of our team and employees, but for all of our users. That's why we have 24/7 customer support. And so I just get so excited about like the future of crypto and the idea of ownership, and that everyone is able to like truly live out their passions and monetize it, whatever their skill set is. So it's truly exciting times. But I tell people, I'm like, you're running out of time, because soon everyone's going to be here and everyone's going to want a job in crypto and be working, for some of these projects. And it's going to be even harder than it is now. So yeah, that's, I tell people, like, it's exciting, like don't lose focus, like use this time wisely.
Yeah, living the dream. You mentioned 1 billion people. Why not 8? But anyway, let's focus. Let's do some quick fire. And I ask you a few questions. You have 1 word each to answer. So let's go. The most estimated thing in Web3 adoption today?
Efficiency. Users hate clicking buttons. I'm serious. Like
1 word.
From 3 clicks to 1 click is huge. Efficiency.
Yeah, agree. The most overhyped wallet feature buzzword?
It's like SocialFi or InfoFi, whichever you hate more.
Yeah. A recent move in the Solana ecosystem everyone should watch?
Metaplex, their token launches.
Mm.
Yeah.
One word to describe the future of internet capital markets.
Tokenization, to tokenize everything.
A book or thinker who most shaped your view on on-chain finance.
Gaius from the library in Vault Finance, and shout out Gaius. He is a Solana OG.
Shout out to him. One misconception about DeFi or tokenization you would wish to vanish.
The idea of rug pulls. There's no rug pulls in DeFi if you're staking.
Yeah. If funding and regulation were no constraint, what would you build tomorrow?
Wi-Fi for everyone. Also, that is a basic human right. Wi-Fi, water, and self-custody.
One sentence. How will holistic on-chain wealth management look like in 2030?
It's going to look like your Solflare wallet. It's going to look black and yellow because we are building the neobank for the future where you can handle all of your on-chain wealth management on Solana, powered by Solana. It's Solflare.
Man.
Listen, Chris, that was great. So before we wrap it up, how do people find you and who should we talk to next?
So you can definitely, I live and breathe on like X, crypto X. So you can find me personal account at SolQuicks, at Solflare is our main account. We also have a community of guardians. So feel free to join our Discord for Solflare, where we can help onboard you. There's a whole bunch of educational content in there and an entire community of people that want to uplift the Solana ecosystem. But find me on X, just follow the most famous Fox. And who should you guys talk to next, man? Oh, that's a good question. You know who you should talk to is, let me look at my guests really quick of who's we've had on. I think that you should. Gaming, honestly, is making like a little bit of a comeback, and I think it's really exciting. So I would say either if you're gonna stick with gaming, talk to the Portals team, or you should probably talk to the Soul Brothers podcast dudes. They're really awesome guests, Eno and Simon. They run a great show, and I think that you would definitely have some good conversation with them as well. So that would be my guess: either gaming, hit up Portals, or go entertainment and hit up the Soul Brothers podcast.
Thank you so much. That wraps up this week's episode of Internet Capital Markets. A huge thank you to Griggs for joining us today. If you enjoyed today's discussion, make sure to subscribe, rate, and share the show. This is Internet Capital Markets. Join us next week as we continue exploring how technology, capital, and human creativity converge to build the financial systems of tomorrow. Until then, stay curious, stay connected, and keep building the future of finance. Bye.